Welcome, listeners, to the Member Advantage, the brand new podcast from the Capital Region Builders and Remodelers Association. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Member Advantage. This is Christine.
And this is Kristen.
And today we want to talk about how you can be the voice and how you can help grow CRBRA.
We are going to be participating in NAHB's membership drive, which runs April 1st through June 30th, and we need your help.
We do. We know that a lot of you out there are competitive, so we've got some things to help entice you. But really, you guys as the members are the best way to get new members. You can share your experiences, share why you are a current member of CRBRA, and it has a lot of value and weight coming from members.
It really does. I mean, I can sit here and talk about why you should be a member all day. I can send a million emails about it. But I'm staff.
She's a paid employee, so, she gets paid to do that. But when it comes from whether it's a committee volunteer or just an active member, it really does have a lot of weight to it.
We hear from members that they're not sure how to go about selling membership. We want to take just some of the fear away from it and make you feel empowered. You don't need to be an expert on CRBRA to be able to invite someone else to join.
Sometimes it's just that conversation starter of bringing CRBRA to their attention. Maybe they don't even know about the association.
I hear from a lot of people that after they attend an event is a good time for them to, just text a few people or shoot an email like, hey, I was just at this event. You should have been there because XYZ, these people were there, or I learned this, what have you. It's a good starter for the conversation, and, then when you follow up with them or see them the next time, you hit them again with more specific things about what it would mean for them.
Absolutely. And I know sometimes when I reach out to people, they're like, I've been thinking about it, but I just had a couple questions and wasn't sure. And, people get busy. They have everyday jobs that they're trying to do. So sometimes it just takes that little bit of outreach, and we want to help give you the tools because there's some pretty cool prizes.
You can always look to CRBRA staff to be a resource for you as you are recruiting new members, which we so appreciate. So that includes myself, Kristen, and we have a new staff member. Her name is Kaylee, and she is our new membership and events coordinator. She's fantastic and just cannot wait to start engaging with you to make sure that we're providing the support that you've come to know and trust from us.
She's going to be a great resource.
Growing membership really benefits everyone in the association. We've talked about it on our last 2 episodes, the value of membership, advocacy, and the power in numbers. This really plays into a lot of that. When you're speaking to a potential new member, their first instinct is going to be, how does that benefit me?
Right. What's in this for me? How can I benefit this? Which is a valid question.
Right. That first time you're writing the check, I can understand you want to see what the value is going to be to your business. I think if you give us the chance and you participate in the years that follow, you'll understand why it's for the good of the whole and how it benefits the industry and also your business. But we get it.
Like Kristen mentioned, advocacy power, giving us a bigger voice in legislation, that's a huge benefit to having more members. You not only have more numbers, but you have a wider range of expertise. You have more people that know more things.
It also really helps us when we're looking at our director appointments with the New York State Builders Association and the National Association of Home Builders. With the National Association of Home Builders, the directors that we get are dependent on the number of members that we have. And with the New York State Builders Association, the weight of our vote on their board of directors is also dependent on the number of members that we have.
Yes, that's a great point. More networking opportunities with a more diverse group of people is also a huge advantage. You can have I would love to look at the member directory and have multiple member types in all the different categories, from builders to remodelers to pools to lighting, all the different things. It's more resources for you, the member.
When you're talking to potential members about joining the association, I'm sure that one of the first questions after what's in it for me is how much does it cost?
How much money?
So our annual dues are a flat rate, $675, and that is for all 3 associations on the 3-legged stool.
$302 of that $675 goes towards CRBRA. $198 goes to NAHB, and $175 goes to NISBA.
So you're writing one check, and then CRBRA writes a check on behalf of all members at the end of each month, sending it to the New York State Builders Association, NISBA, and the National Association of Home Builders, NAHB. We want to prepare you as members to recruit new members. We are going to provide resources like scripts that you can use for phone calls, emails, even, sample text messages. But for the purposes of the podcast, we kind of just want to give you some key talking points to use.
To talk to another member about becoming a member of CRBRA, they're not looking for a sales pitch. They want an honest experience. Why do you stay and continue to support CRBRA, and what have you gotten out of it? That's what they're looking for. They're looking for real, tangible benefits that you've received that they can possibly get as well.
So if you're talking to someone that you know well or well enough, about what they do, then you're able to speak directly to that benefit. If you're talking to someone that, is maybe more of a cold call or someone you're getting to know, you will have to ask a couple questions to get to the right place. But it's as simple as saying like, hey, I'm Kristen. What do you do? Mm-hmm. And people are more than happy to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And what
very
they do.
True. Yeah, I mean, you can even say, like Kristen said, if it's somebody that it is a little more comfortable, and you can say, being a CRBRA member has helped me in the advocacy efforts. I've gained confidence, or I've gotten discounts, or I've made these great business connections. So we all have an example of how CRBRA has benefited us. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't continue to still be members. So I know that all of you out there have something that you can share with another member. It could be somebody that you work with, a subcontractor or a vendor.
Yeah, I think looking at your list of subcontractors and vendors is such a good place to start, because there are several categories of membership that have one member in there, which is great for that one member, and
fantastic.
They're feeling great. But we really want to have more people involved and feeling the benefit, and doesn't everyone benefit from a little competition as well?
Right.
Makes you better. So it really is a matter of, like, before you make the phone call, asking yourself, like, what is your why for why you keep your membership with CRBRA?
Yeah, and making it more personal, not that just generic sales pitch of, come join CRBRA, it's the Home Builders Association of the Capital Region. Okay, what does that mean for me? So yes. I love that point of, what is it that you do with your business? And then I can tell you what I can do to help benefit you. Every person has something different that they get out of this organization. I feel like a common objection that I sometimes will hear is, well, I just don't have the time. I mean, how much time commitment is this? And really, my answer is always, it's as much time as you want to put into it. However, there is some time, for you to get value out of your membership, you do need to participate. It's not something where you're just paying, a yearly fee and business is going to just get dropped on your doorstep.
Right. You have to put something in, have some skin in the game.
Right. And if that means 2 networking events a year, then it means 2 networking events a year. If it means 15, good for you.
Seriously.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Just call me your social coordinator. For some people, they could say, I'm never going to have time this year to go out to events. But what you provide me in the emails when you've interpreted the latest news from the Code Council, or when you filled me in on what the group covered at Lobby Day, that was enough for me.
So this is such a great reminder that we sometimes take this point for granted, that when your company joins CRBRA, every single one of your employees is a member.
If you're the owner of the company and I'm not going to have time for this.
Or I don't want to
Sure.
go out and network.
That's But if you have a salesperson on your team, send them.
Absolutely. And we try and have a range of different activities and events so that different people who have different interests can go to all different kinds of events.
Another objection that people just, maybe it's not even an objection. People will say, oh, I'll get back to you on that.
Right.
I know I struggle with this, but then maybe this would be a Christine's tip of the day for a salesperson's tip. But what's a good time to follow up with you about it? Or
yes,
if you're having
the upfront contract.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called. That was one of our other educational courses that we had. I think it was 2 years ago, and it was kind of talking about. It was a sales course, and it's having a follow up, because when you leave it open ended like that, when are you supposed to follow up? Because when they think is an appropriate time maybe is a month from now. In your mind, maybe it's a week from now,
right.
And you're being pushy, or vice versa. Maybe they expected you to follow up in 3 days and it's been a month, and they're like, they don't care.
Right.
So, and a lot of people like clarity.
True.
So that is a great point of saying, not a problem. I completely understand that you want to kind of delve in and read through the information. When is a good time to follow up? Can we set up a call next week? Or I'll stop by, or shoot me an email. But yes.
And if you
tip of the day, the upfront contract.
And if you tell Sierra Bureau staff when you're reaching out to people, you're welcome to copy us on your emails, info@sierrabureau.com. Then that way we could also help you with the follow-up. If you feel like, oh, I don't want to be too pushy.
Right. No, that's a great point.
Shoot us a note and say, hey, Kaylee, can you follow up with this person? And then she's happy to do it. And she could even, take it a step further and say, I can take your dues payment over the phone right now and really close it.
All right, so let's talk about the NAHB membership drive that we mentioned earlier. The drive is running from April 1st through June 30th, and there's some incentives from NAHB themselves, and then CRBRA is also going to kick a few things in as well.
Before we get into all of the prizes, we have to give a little bit of the informational background on how it works, because this is going to be based on our net growth. So I have to give you the boring little overview of how our membership renewal
We're going to do a little break
works.
here and play some snooze music.
Right, if you take a little nap or you want to go grab water, you do you. But each year, when people join, that becomes your join month and your renewal month.
So you get billed, you join in April, you get billed every April for your dues.
Yes. And if you don't renew your dues and we drop your membership, we lost a member.
Right.
As part of this drive, we need to have a gain of 4 to 6.99% net growth.
Which is 10 to 17 members. So if we get 17 new members and 17 members drop, that is zero.
Not a great place to be. No prizes.
No.
No prizes.
But it's just kind of a good point to understand that obviously all membership is valued and we appreciate any new membership we get, but we do need to keep in mind that in order to meet that 10 to 17 net, we probably need to get a fair amount because, some people retire, they go out of business, they move out of the area. So, there's natural membership drops that happen throughout the year.
Probably down the road, we'll do maybe a little episode or a quick thing about member retention and how important that is and what you can do to be an advocate for that. But for the purposes of this, we just need everybody to understand that renewing membership is so important.
It is.
To us when it comes to this drive.
Right. So, okay, snooze music over. Back.
Put the accountant away.
Okay, so if we get 10 to 17 net member increase, we will be eligible for one ticket to IBS.
Which in 2026 is February 14th through the 19th in Orlando.
And again, we love our acronyms. IBS is the International Builder Show.
It's like we can't help ourselves.
We can't. So what will happen is if we get that, we'll have a ticket that we'll be able to do a drawing for, which is pretty awesome. And then they also will put a $750 travel stipend towards Now, if we get 18 or more members, we are eligible for 2 tickets to the International Builders Show.
And 2 $750 travel stipends.
So that's pretty awesome.
Sweetens the pot.
It does. So again, those will be drawings. So depending upon if we get 1 or 2, and you'll get an entry into the pot for each new member that you get.
Yes.
So if you get 10 new members, you've got 10 tickets in that bowl.
Right. Odds are in your favor in that case.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
On the CRBRA front, we also love prizes and drawings too. So looking at this being 3 months, we are going to have a monthly contest, let's say. And we have great prizes as our grand prize for each month. Someone is going to win new
AirPods.
Which I think is a pretty
great.
awesome gift for referring someone to join something that you believe in.
Yeah. So same thing. Every new member that you get, a ticket goes into that AirPod pot. And then we'll also do a few other smaller prizes like merch and maybe some gift cards, things like that. So we really just want to help entice everybody to put on their CRBRA hat. And like we said before, just think of one person in your network. I mean, I know that I can sit here and probably tell you 20 people in my network that could or should be members. And it's easy to talk about it when you've seen the tangible benefits.
And if you have someone that you know that has been thinking about it for a while, bring them with you to an event. We're happy to extend the member rate to a guest of a member who wants to attend something. So take a look at the calendar, see what's coming up, and it's always easier for a new person to come to something when they're coming with someone.
The buddy system is great.
Yes, still applies here.
It does.
CRBRA is built by the members for the members. So if you've benefited from being a part of this community, now's the time to share that with someone else.
Yes, we want to grow together. And I encourage you to refer someone today. And we can all take advantage of this NAHB membership drive and some of these cool CRBRA prizes. I don't know. I think this is kind of fun. You guys better watch out. I love competition.
And she's been on fire so far this year with recruiting members. And actually our whole board of directors has really got a little bit of a fire lit under them.
Yeah, it's really actually nice to see everybody working towards this goal. And it's because we all have received and seen those benefits. So it's easy for us to be like, yeah, why wouldn't you be a member?
Love to hear it.
All right, and our next episode is going to be a recap from Lobby Day. At that point, when that episode comes out, we will have met with the legislators, had all of our meetings, and give you guys an update of how everything went.
So stay tuned for that. If you haven't listened to our previous episodes, they are listed below this one.
They are.
Wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you for humoring us.
Yes.
And
Thanks for listening, guys. Really appreciate it.
And we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. The Member Advantage podcast is a production of the Capital Region Builders and Remodelers Association, hosted by 2025 President Christine Rabel and CRBRA Executive Officer Kristen Eggleston. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts. While we do our best to provide accurate and up-to-date information, any mistakes are entirely our own. This podcast is for informational purposes for the benefit of our members. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.